This is part two of the NHL standings for 2011-12 season. Okay, Nick, start.
Who do you have for the Southeast Division? The Caps, Bolts, Panthers, Canes, or Jets?
Tampa Bay Lightning, I go number one. Got a great team. They re-signed Stamkos to a long-term deal. Take the distraction off of him and let him play. As great as a player is, he's the cover for NHL 12. I think that's how you can tell he's going to be a great player, and as he already is. And I think they're ready to be a cup team with St. Louis and good goaltending.
Who do you have for second? The Caps, Panthers, Canes, or Jets?
The Florida Panthers, number two. They had a great offseason. I would say one of the best. They got Ed Jovanovski, Brian Campbell, Keith Yandel, and Jose Theodore as their goalie. I think they're ready. And I think they'll take the number two spot.
Who do you have for third? Caps, Canes, or Jets?
I have the Capitals. I think it's gonna be a small race between them and the Panthers, but I have them number three and not making the playoffs this year. I think Ovechkin's a great player, one of the best in the league. Even though they got Varlamov, but I still think the Panthers are ready this year.
So who do you have for fourth? The Canes, or the Jets?
Carolina Hurricanes. They have a great young team with Eric Stahl, Sutter, and an amazing goaltender in Cam Ward.
So do you think Skinner will have a big part to the season?
Yeah, he's a great player. I still think that Sutter's gonna have leading points on that team because I think he's a great player, Rookie of the Year last year, and I think he's ready.
And you have the Jets for last.
Yeah, I have the newest team in the NHL going last this year. I think they're just getting ready to settle in to the NHL league. New fans, joining Canada. Still don't get why they're in this division, but we'll see what happens. It's a hard division as it is, and I think that they're. They got Ladd but they got a good team going. But we'll see what happens.
Who do you think's gonna be the best on that team, Evander Kane or Buffalo?
I still think Buffalo's a great player. He's a defensive player and he could play forward. I think he's an outstanding player, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Alright, now we'll go to Nick for our last division. I would say probably the tightest division, NHL. Okay, the Eastern Atlantic Division. Who do you have first? Flyers, Pens, Rangers, Devils, or Islanders?
Trust me, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tight between the Penguins, Rangers, Flyers. But I have Penguins going first. Sidney Crosby, probably the best player in the league. Right there with Ovechkin. Evgeny Malkin's on his side. You know that's gonna be dangerous. They lost out on Jaromir Jagr, but it's alright. They got a nice, tight defense. They got also one of the Star brothers. They got Jordan. And they also have Marc-Andre Fleury, which that's a big plus. And I think that even though they lost Talbot, I think they're still one of the best teams in the league.
Okay, and even Kovalev might be joining a different league this year. See what happens with that. Okay, who do you have number two?
I have the New York Rangers going second. Even with the Flyers are always good. You gave up your two, well, to me, they're two best players, and that's Jeff Carter and that's Mike Richards. That's even though they got Ilya Bryzgalov. We have Henrik Lundqvist, and yes, I'm a Ranger fan. He's a Canucks fan, and Henrik Lundqvist is definitely top 3 goalie in the league, and it's tough to get by him. And they have a good young defense, good young team. Signing Callahan, Dubinsky back, Sauer back, also Boyle, Anisimov. This team wants to stay together, and they just acquired Brad Richards and Mike Rupp, and I think that's going to be good additions. And I think that once Brad Richards plays on that line with Gabby will change into the player that he was the first year as a Ranger.
Yeah, I still think they're going number one, but let's see what happens.
They could.
Alright, who do you have three? Rangers, Devils, or Islanders?
I'm honestly going to go Flyers. The Flyers acquiring Ilya Bryzgalov was a big move for them. Good move, but bad move because you had to give up Richards and Carter just to get a goalie. I think that's why they had to give him. And Carter going to Blue Jackets and Richards going to the Kings. I mean, that was a big move for them to make. Drew's going to have to lead that team as well. He's going to have to do really good on that team. And Scott Harnell's got to be a step up to play and be that veteran player. And I think that this team will end up in third and behind the Rangers.
Okay. Who do you have fourth, Devils or Islanders?
Oh, the Devils. Islanders are still building. I really do. But Zach Parise, Ilya Kovalchuk, Patrick Elias, they're all big players. And if they all go on the ice on the power play, they're dangerous. They're a dangerous power play team. Even with losing Jamie Langenbrunner this year, I think that they have one of the best goalies in NHL. They have the best goalie in NHL history, Marty Brodeur. So it's tough, but I know that they're gonna end up in fourth. And I think they're going to miss the playoffs by 2 spots. I think they're going to end up in 10th place.
And that's coming from a Ranger fan, Brodeur. Alright, and you have the Islanders last, I see.
Yes, I think they're going to be, honestly, one of the best. They could be the best team in a couple years, maybe 5 years or something. This team is very young, very good. Grabner, Tavares, Koso, and they get Nabokov. Nabokov's going to be that leader on that team, if you don't believe me or not. And Ralston's gonna be that new leader, as he got traded to the team, and they traded away Trent Hunter, but they got Ralston in return, which was very, very good. And I think that this team is gonna shape up to be a very good team in the future.
Okay, now that we're done with that, I just want to ask a few questions real quick. Who do you have leading in points this year in the NHL?
Points. I honestly still have. I think Alex Ovechkin's gonna break out, as he did not have a good season last year to me. He got off really slow and then came up fast, but did not do well. Corey Perry, I think, still have that great season from last year, and I think that Stamkos, Kessler, Gaborik, all those players will be up there, and it'll be tight point race.
Okay, I know it's a long time from now, but who do you have probably being one of the best goaltenders for the season?
For the season, if I'll be honest, of course, coming from a Ranger fan, the defense of the Rangers play good. I have Henrik, but it's tough because it's a young defense. If Mark Stahl plays that role, if Brian McCabe comes back, and they can protect Henrik and they can score goals, he could be one of the most elite goalies in the league.
Okay, and who do you think is going to be the President's Trophy winner this year?
President's Trophy winner?
Hard question.
It's hard to say, but I could see the Penguins and I could see the Capitals. Capitals still have that good team. What they need? A goalie, and they got one. They got Thomas Wilkoon, and Penguins are always dominant team. So it's hard to say. I mean, Canucks could also still be in it. Red Wings could be in it. Rangers could catch up after getting Brad Richards. You don't know what's going to happen in the NHL. All of our predictions could be wrong. Any team could break out, but I do think that Capitals, Penguins, Canucks, Rangers, all those teams still have it, but I would go with, as of right now, Capitals.
Okay. Last question. Who do you have 2 teams in the Stanley Cup this year?
I think, even with the first year of Brad Richards, I think it could be Rangers and Canucks. Canucks, I think, will make it back. With that Western Conference, I mean, it's tough because they beat the Red Wings. They beat all those teams in that Western Conference, and I think that they can make it far, as well as the Rangers are.
Alright. So, you ready for some hockey this year?
Yes, I am.
Alright, thank you, Nick.
No problem.